Imagine a world where temperatures surge to an unimaginable 1,000 degrees Fahrenheit, a realm that seems almost otherworldly. What kind of devastation would unfold under such extreme conditions? It's not just the scorching heat that threatens the environment. It's a harbinger of chaos for human life itself. As we explore these harrowing possibilities, one can't help but wonder, how does the human body react to such intensity? Picture this. Within seconds, the very fabric of our being is threatened. Skin cells begin to vaporize, turning to ash as the intense heat engulfs them in flames. The damage is instantaneous and catastrophic. Beneath the skin, muscles quickly char, their fibers rendered useless as vital proteins denature, losing the very essence of their function. Our organs, precious and vital, meet an equally grim fate. Such high temperatures cause them to fail, succumbing to cellular death in a heartbeat. Even bones, often seen as sturdy and resilient, cannot withstand this inferno. They start to crack and break apart, torn apart by thermal expansion. Can you imagine the sheer horror of such destruction? A moment's exposure would be enough to seal one's fate, snuffing out life in the blink of an eye. But how quickly can this calamity unfold? The human body, resilient as it is, has remarkably limited patience for high heat. Within moments at 1,000 degrees, we face incineration and irreversible damage. Even just a few seconds can lead to deep burns that would forever alter the skin and underlying tissues. As time stretches into minutes, a body exposed to temperatures slightly below that unbearable threshold can suffer heat stroke, dehydration, and ultimately succumb to the wreckage that extreme conditions create. As we delve deeper into this dark scenario, it becomes clear that the ramifications of 1,000 degrees extend far beyond individual suffering. The world as we know it would be irrevocably altered. Picture the collapse of infrastructure, buildings reduced to ruins, vehicles melting into puddles of metal. The food we rely on for nourishment would spoil and become dangerous to consume under such conditions. Suddenly, the simplest of meals would be fraught with hazard. Imagine entire ecosystems collapsing under the punishing heat, wildlife and plant life extinguished, leaving bare landscapes where vibrant life once thrived. Whole populations faced with this cataclysm would find survival increasingly unlikely, struggling against an environment transformed to hostility. Reflecting on these terrifying conditions, one might wonder, what can be done to cope with extreme heat, even if 1,000 degrees is an insurmountable barrier? While survival at such temperatures seems futile, there are ways to deal with more manageable heat crises. Staying hydrated becomes crucial. The body cries for water to prevent the devastating impacts of heat exhaustion. We must learn to navigate the sun's relentless rays, finding sanctuary indoors during the hottest hours of the day. Clothing choices become strategically important too. Donning light, loose fabrics allows for airflow, presenting a simple defense against rising temperatures. For those spending their days exposed to sweltering sun, strict hydration schedules and regular breaks in shaded areas become vital. Yet even these strategies can only shield us from the immediate dangers. What of the long-term impacts of consistent exposure to extreme heat? The very air we breathe could turn against us, with increased pollution exacerbating respiratory issues, while vulnerable populations, especially the elderly, face heightened cardiovascular risks. Even our mental health may fray under the weight of constant heat, as stress and social unrest rise alongside rising temperatures. Reflecting on the broad implications of climate change, we find a pressing urgency to understand what extreme heat heralds for our future. Predictions indicate that heat waves will grow more frequent, stretching temperatures beyond what has historically been endured. Areas once familiar with mild weather may face blistering heat spikes, testing the limits of infrastructure and human adaptability. The narrative of extreme heat calls us to attention, a stark reminder of our fragile existence. While humanity has shown remarkable resilience, facing the staggering reality of 1,000 degrees brings us to the edge of ruin. The need for preventive measures and structural adaptations grows ever more critical as we strive to mitigate the impending consequences of a changing climate. How equipped are we to confront the extremes, and what steps will we take to secure our future in this unpredictable world?